We know that in content, the audio it's the most important thing. And today we gonna share mostly Laura how with a beautiful thing like this SM7B or an FMV7, which is also a nice microphone and some tricks. Oh my god, tips and tricks. You will learn how to get the best from your audio. Stay there because we will be back. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another the special marketing live show episode. Today it's the 18th episode. With we will gonna talk about audio gear, amazing microphones, tips and tricks to get the most from your audio and to have an amazing sounding content. By the way, hello Chris Stone, welcome my friend. So good to see you here. Hello Carinder as well. So today we're gonna have Laura Davidson, and allow me to do the joke. And we're gonna talk besides tips and tricks about audio and good sounding. We're gonna talk about my favorite, and I need to make this disclosure. Sure, it's for sure my favorite microphone brand. So today it's a even more special live show. Let me get Laura because she's at the basement as usual. I think I left there a cookie and a glass of water because I'm a generous guy. So let me bring it to the show. Let me play the fanfare. Okay, this sometimes. Welcome, Laura.
Wow, that was my fanfare. I guess that's all I get for coming up from the basement. No, I don't get fanfare anywhere in life, so I'll take it. This is great.
First of all, thank you so much for accepting my invitation. And again, and let me make this live and to everybody in public. Thank you so much for sending me this Shure microphone, the SM7B. This was on my
Yeah.
bucket list. I don't know, maybe since I was born. And I can say this about this microphone.
Since you were born. I love it.
So thank you so much. If you don't mind, if you can introduce yourself, and then we can start the conversation. Is that okay?
Yeah, totally. So my name's Laura. I like long walks on the beach. No, okay. So I work for Shure in market development, which is a fancy way of saying I get to engage with wonderful people like you who love our products, and I get to share about the brand. So I am always playing with gear and learning about new mics and teaching people about mics and headphones and earphones. So that's my job. And I'm a singer-songwriter. I live in Connecticut. Um, yeah, and that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Okay. Allow me to say that I'm a little jealous because I don't know. It's like someone who likes cakes to work in a bakery. I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah, it's pretty much it.
almost-
Yes. If I worked in a bakery, I'd be obese. But yeah, because it's that same kind of thing. I have a lot of microphones in reach all the time. So
Yeah, don't make me
it's,
jealous, please.
it's dangerous. It's
Oh
dangerous.
my god!
I know. I love my job. I love it.
And
So
we have
yeah.
Ronaldo as well. We have some viewers from Brazil. Olá, Ronaldo. Bem-vindo. Welcome, my friend, as well. And Ronaldo, it's also a podcaster, so I'm pretty sure
Amazing.
that he will learn a lot and he's taking notes about this. So, one of the things I need to ask, and I know the answer, but let me pretend that I don't know because I think this is important. What makes Shure so kind of being the high standard on the microphone industry?
Well, there's a few things. I mean, people might have different opinions as to why, but first thing, we've been around since 1925. So we've got some history and some legacy on our side, so we know what we're doing. but also because of our extreme dedication to quality. We have some insane quality tests that we put our mics through, some torture tests like sand and sweat and water, and there's crazy stories about our microphones. So, quality and then innovation. We're always trying to listen to our customers and find out what they need and what they want. So it's really a cool company to work for, even though it's been around for 96 years. We're always trying to find new ways to engage and make cool things. So that's what makes us kind of stand out.
Perfect. And your answer led me to two different questions. The first is how this awesome microphone, which is in front of me, and I think the design and the main things didn't change so much since he was born, but it stills the standard when we talk about broadcasting and podcasting. I
Yes.
think the Shure SM7B, it's kind of, you know that you're a top podcaster when you have one, kind
Yeah.
of.
When you know you're serious when you're when
Yes.
you're using the SM7B. It's definitely, it hasn't changed drastically from a physical standpoint, but it has changed internally. And in 2001 is when it went to the SM7B. So that's kind of, I think people think it's always been the SM7B, but it hasn't. It was the SM7, and that launched in 1973. 19, and then the SM7A was, I think, 1999. And it was just some slight improvements to the humbucker coil that's inside the yoke mount for some of its rejection to handling noise, because that's one of the best things about the SM7B is if you're touching your desk or the boom arm, it's not going to carry through. So when Marco is feverishly typing whatever he's doing with one hand over there,
Crazy.
or clicking through the carousel feverishly, like it's not going to come through the mic. And that's what a lot of other microphones can be prone to. So that's something that kind of sets it apart. But that's just kind of a quick history lesson. 73, 1999, and 2001. And then that's the one that you know and love today, the SM7B. So same great microphone, just minor tweaks.
Okay. And the second question, it's
Yes.
about innovation and about hearing the customers. And I
Yeah.
think the little boy you have in front of you could be, I think this is my guess, could be one of the outcomes from that perspective, because it's both an XLR or an USB, and you
Yes.
have that amazing software, the Shure Motive Plus,
Yep.
Motive,
Yep.
which is a way to overcome that thing that for some people could be not easy to do, to buy a audio interface or a mixer and to use it. So you came with this software which will
Mm-hmm.
overcome this. Is I'm right about my approach?
Yeah. So the SM7B, um, we wanted to make something that was going to be much more conducive to those who want to get into podcasting, maybe aren't quite ready to get an interface yet, but still want to have room to grow and still want to have that great Shure quality sound. So yes, it's definitely kind of a hat tip to the SM7B, an homage, if you will. But totally different microphones and for different use cases. But yes, this is kind of the offspring of the SM7B. And you said it for all the same reasons, because it has that dual output option. That's an important thing to keep in mind, because if you want to get a podcast microphone and you have no idea what you're doing with audio, or you don't want to spend any extra money on an interface, this is an actual interface if you think about it that way, because you're plugging directly USB into your computer. You're going to have some audio processing using that Shure desktop app. And you can monitor with headphones in real time, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm plugged into the back of mine. And then you can use XLR if you do decide to get an interface, or if you have an interface already, you can have both of these outputs be active if you're using a Mac, which is really, really cool. So let's say we're streaming right now, Marco, which we are, and you want to capture I wanted to capture the DSP process signal from my MV7 coming out of the USB. I could also be running via an aggregate device in my Mac, the XLR, and capturing the dry audio for editing and post. So That's something that not a lot of people know about, but you can use both of the outputs simultaneously, which is really, really cool. So, yes, it's a great mic if you don't know what you're doing. It's a great mic if you know what you're doing, but in any regard, it comes kind of from the SM7B as a close relative.
Yeah, I think it's easy to tell that.
Yeah, they do kind of look alike. They're similar. They're like, cousins. Yeah, but
Yep.
yes. How many mics can I hold at once? So yeah, definitely an option for you. If you're not feeling ready for the SM7B, an MV7 is a great option for you. But if you are ready, I mean, I say dive in. You're worth it, Don't be scared. Get the SM7B. It's fantastic.
Absolutely. And another thing, and the other day I know, we like to make to make our homeworks, and I went to see a video, and someone was complaining about the Shure, the SM7B. Oh, it's not that
Oh,
good, blah 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 blah. And curious because some days after, someone said, "Well, you're not getting the most from your microphone because you're not using it properly."
mm.
Isn't there so many people that don't use and we can put this in a broader perspective, they don't know how to use properly the microphone. Which tips do you have there? Because I think you may have some
Yeah,
to take the
definitely.
best.
Yeah, so the SM7B is inherently quiet when you first plug it in, which is why we recommend using an interface that has a good amount of gain headroom, as we call it, or using an an inline booster, excuse me. So that's when you might hear an SM7B paired with a cloud lifter is a great option. There's many other inline boosters you can use as well.
I'm
I
using
use
the fat
mine.
head.
You're using great. I saw that in the carousel. Exactly. So Fed heads are great. And what they're doing is they're just adding more gain headroom without introducing noise. Because in your interface, let's say you're using a Focusrite 2i2 and you crank it up, you're going to hear that floor noise, that hiss. And
Yeah.
that's when people are like, well, this mic is awful. I don't like it. Well, it's inherent to the design of the mic. It needs that additional gain because it was designed and built when we weren't using digital interfaces to get our microphones into our computers. We weren't even using computers. So that's kind of just some quick background on it. But there are interfaces that you can buy. Like I'm using an Apollo Twin. That's mine over there in that setup for my studio. And that's totally fine and capable of powering the SM7B and providing enough gain. So it's it. It's not really user error. It's just maybe you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle that you need. So if you don't have an interface that can drive the SM7B, then you need to get something like a FedHead or an inline booster that can, and then it'll make a world of difference. And then you'll sound like Marco, and it'll be great.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also some because another thing, and sometimes people I don't think this happened with Shure microphones because they look so great on the frame.
Yeah.
And let me confess this as well. Let me admit I'm a sinner. One of the things that I like about microphone is the design. Okay, let me
Yeah.
let
Nothing wrong with
and
that.
yeah, absolutely. As far and I like when I do my live shows on Amazon, and I like to make my disclaimer like, okay, the most important feature about this product is this, but if they look good as well, awesome.
Yeah.
And so this is
Bonus. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely,
It is. Yep. Mm-hmm.
absolutely. But one of the things that people sometimes tend to do is that they put the microphone away, like
Yes.
in the moon,
Yes. That's not
and
going to
then
help
they
you.
they increase sometimes they increase the gain so I can
Yes.
put the microphone. Is this the right practice?
It is not. It is not at all. A lot of people, yes, they want the microphone out of their shot. Now, with the MV7, you can do that to a certain extent with this particular mic, and I'll show you right now. So right now I'm using the app, the Shure Plus Motive app. I'm in what's called near mode, and I'm in auto, which is adjusting my gain depending on where I am to the mic. If I put it in far mode, can actually, sorry for the handling noise, move it away and it will slowly adjust the gain to compensate because it's in auto mode. But you're hearing more of my room now. So think about it. Microphones are not, they're not going to reach out and grab the sound. They can only pick up what's in front of them. So that's, if you're wanting a microphone that's off camera, I'd recommend using something like a lavalier option, which can be wireless or wired. Let me flip this back over. Hold on.
No sound.
Now we're back in near mode. So using a lavalier mic, that is one of these. Okay, so this is our tiniest one. It's called Twinplex. And they come in all different variations. You can clip them to your shirt. You can wear them under your shirt. You can put them in your hair. You can wear a head-worn variant like this guy, which I just dropped. This is the Duraplex variant. So, you have all these different options if you're not wanting to have a big mic in your face. I feel super cool having a boom arm. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, the further away the microphone is from the source, the more opportunity there is for other things to go into the mic. So that's why it's so important to get up close and personal with your microphones when podcasting or streaming so that you're hearing less of the imperfect room around you, which is what I'm sitting in right now.
Perfect. And the other thing about choosing microphones, there's this. I think I can say it without kind of scaring and put the ears to bleed to people, that there's these two groups, the condensers and the dynamics. Which situations do you recommend one and the other?
That's great. A great question. And I would recommend a dynamic microphone for nearly any situation you're going to be doing at home, unless you have a treated room that you're working in. So treated being a closed off space that doesn't have HVAC, that doesn't have hard surfaces and reflective surfaces. So basically a closet or, a studio space. I think we're all kind of working in these makeshift studios, which is great. I'm able to record a ton of really great stuff, even when I use a condenser, but I just have to do a couple of things to tweak it. But honestly, for podcasting, for live streaming, a dynamic is going to be better because the way the mic is inherently designed, it's got a diaphragm that's attached to a coil that surrounds a magnet, takes a little bit more physical energy to move it, which is why it's going to be less prone to picking up more of the nuances and details. Whereas a condenser microphone doesn't have that coil and magnet to move. It just has a very thin diaphragm that's got an electrically charged backplate. That's why it needs something called phantom power. It's less, it's more sensitive. So it's going to be picking up all of the things and all the details, which you want if you're capturing instruments, if you're capturing a vocal performance and you want all that atmospheric nuance of the performance. But yeah, if you don't want to hear your HVAC, go with a dynamic. That's the easy answer.
Yeah, and the other thing, and sometimes we see it, is when people use condenser microphones, because this happens as well, is that when people speak too close to the microphone, and with condensers, if you speak too close, this will distort.
It will. It will. And that's true of a dynamic too. If I get up too close to this, it's still pretty good because I'm in auto mode.
Yeah.
But then you're also more prone to plosives, which if I said plosives right on the mic, you'd hear that pop. I'm actually just off axis a little bit, which is negating that completely. So I don't have to use a pop filter because, you just learn mic technique. But yes, anytime you get on a mic, you don't really need to eat it, you have to adjust your gain too. And that's just true. If you know you're a very dynamic speaker, like Marco and I think we're pretty dynamic speakers. Like we're quiet, we're loud, we're animated. You want to make sure you're testing your gain before you go live to get real loud first and set your gain there so that it's not going to overload when you're in the stream.
Absolutely. And I think this is because one of the things sometimes people do is that they put that awesome pop filter in front of them, like
Yep.
But I think
you can do that.
Yes, but I'm honest, I don't like that much that noise mostly when we do. And the thing is, I don't know about you, Laura, but I've seen so many people making so misusing of the pop filter, like the diaphragm
Hmm.
is here and they have the pop filter over here.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to
And
work. That's not going to work. Yeah, I mean, the whole idea behind a pop filter is it's filtering the pops. It's filtering the because a plosive happens when a burst of air hits the diaphragm and
yes,
causes it to pop. So that's what it's there for. And it will make it sound a little bit more muffled. So you just have to kind of prepare yourself for that. But that's why an SM7B is such a great option because I don't know if you've ever taken off your windscreen,
yeah,
Marco,
yeah,
but
yeah, of course.
I know, I knew you had, but not a lot of people know. I mean, the diaphragm
Yeah,
and the capsule are all the way back here. So that's why this guy is so awesome at keeping the proximity effect at bay, which is when you have a buildup of bass frequencies. Like if I get up on this mic and I talk into it, let me switch it to manual mode and you'll be able to hear it more. Okay, if I switch it to manual mode and I get up on this and I talk, you'll hear this kind of like woof that kind of builds up after a period of time. That's called proximity effect, which some people work to their advantage, especially in broadcast applications, but it can get really fatiguing to your listeners. So this prevents that because of where it is, but it also inherently prevents plosives because it has this windscreen built in, but also the capsule's, 2 inches back. So that's something to think about there. So if you're wanting something that's going to reject plosives without having to use a windscreen, the SM7B is a fantastic option. If you're using an MV7, just turn your head a little bit and you'll be fine.
absolutely. And we have Rome Wilkerson. Hello, Rome. Welcome. Hello, Marco and Laura. Yes, the radio voice.
The radio voice, courtesy of Shure. Yes, yes.
And talking about a radio voice, I think we need to go to this. I'm kind of watching or imagining, not watching, Nat King Cole singing with that.
Yes.
Ross Brand like to call it the Elvis microphone. I think this is
Yes.
the I don't know the something 55.
Yes. So the
S.
original is the 55 S8. Well, actually, the original is this one back here on my wall, the 555 Unidyne. But the 55 SH is the Elvis mic, as we lovingly refer to it. And then the Super 55 is the reissue that we did that has the same capsule as a Beta 58. So you get all the bonus and benefits of having that cool vintage look, but also having the bonus and benefits of the incredible microphone that is the Beta 58, which is a super cardioid dynamic microphone, meaning it has a tighter pickup pattern, it gives you a great sound and no handling noise. And so you can look really cool and sound awesome. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. I forgot to grab it. It's over there in that closet.
Oh my god!
It's not right here. I feel so
Oh, call him.
ill-equipped. I know. Yeah. Hey, where's my assistant? Oh, I don't have an assistant.
Alexa, bring me the mic.
Right? That would be really creepy. All of a sudden it just animates in here. Yikes. Okay, that's terrifying. Yeah. So those are the vintage mics.
Is that a good microphone, for instance, for content creators as well, like podcasting, live streaming?
Yeah, I mean, I would never think to use that one just because it's a stage mic for me. It's for performance, but yeah, it's a dynamic mic. Go for it. If you want to use that, you could rig it up hanging from this boom arm just like this, or you could put it on a desktop like the late night talk show guys do. Just kind of wire it up that way. But the Super 55 is that reissued version, and it sounds awesome. I have that one. 2 thumbs up.
Is the MV51 kind of spin-off or something from that microphone, but for content creators?
This one is, yeah. So this is the MV51. And it's not a spin-off of the Super 55. It's a spin-off of an even earlier model. But the 51, hence the MV51 in the name. This is a large diaphragm condenser, so it will have more of the room noise coming in, but it is geared towards podcasting and content creation, so you have some control right on the front panel of the microphone to select some presets, also your gain, your headphone level, and there's also a headphone level a headphone jack right on the back that you can plug into. And this one will mount on the desktop or on a boom arm just like this. So it's perfect for podcasting and content creation. Definitely. You can control this
Awesome.
one with the Shure Motive app, which is on your devices as opposed to on the desktop. So the MV7, the MV88 Plus, those can be manipulated on your desktop computer. The rest of the Motive microphones can be configured using our apps on the phone.
Okay, perfect. Let me go to the comments because I'm missing so many comments here.
Don't
Shame
miss
on me.
the comments. Don't do
Shame
that.
on me. The
Bad.
Portuguese guy, it's
Bad.
missing comments.
You're missing it
I
all.
have Chris Stone is saying that MV7 for life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a great microphone
Love
as well.
that.
He's saying that I have an Apollo Twin and I had no idea I didn't need a gain booster. Thanks.
Yeah, you're
And
welcome.
also, a lot of people don't realize that SM58 is actually a great podcast mic. It's not just for music stages.
It totally is. That is accurate.
And we
and
have yes,
you can
yes.
always just to expand on if you are using the Apollo Twin, and you can still use a microphone booster or a signal booster. It'll just give you even more gain, but it physically will work. So just want to throw that out there.
Perfect. And we have Rome saying I have seen a few YouTubers like Tom using the Shure Super 55 on their shows.
Yes, you totally can. I guess I'm just not cool enough to rock it. Maybe I should try that next time. I have one right there. Now I want to go grab it and plug it in and see, because I have this. I don't think you put this in the carousel. Did you add an MVI?
No, but I think I can put it meanwhile.
Yeah, throw it in there
Try
because this little dude, if you have a microphone, if you have a 58 at home, this is a really cool option. So this is the MVI single channel interface, and you can plug in a microphone, you can plug in a guitar or an instrument. It provides phantom power if you're using a condenser microphone, and it has those same great controls that the MV51 has on it. So all the presets, the gain that you can adjust, the headphone level. But yeah, this is a killer little product that people are just kind of like, oh, wait, Shure makes interfaces? Yeah, we do. And it fits in a bag and sounds incredible. So there's also a 20 dB boost built into this. So you can almost power the SM7B. I still like to use a cloud with it, but if you're in a pinch, you can. So this would be a really cool option if you already have a 58. That is a true statement. It works fantastically as a podcast microphone. Even a 57 works great for podcasting. You just need to do a little bit of treatment to the front because the SM58 has that nice grill, which is made for speech and vocals. 57 is more of an instrument mic. So just something to keep in mind.
Perfect. Do you have idea about some other misconceptions about microphones, for instance, and Shure Universe, like that Chris mentioned?
I don't know. Misconceptions? Oh, you mean like the twin being able to power the
Yes, for instance.
SM7B?
Yes.
Oh, Oh, of course you would ask me that. I know a ton of things, and now I'm just kind of like, I know nothing. Oh, well, there's some cool Easter egg features in the MV7, which I mentioned being able to utilize both outputs by using an aggregate device. So if you're using a Mac, you can set this up as an aggregate device, meaning you'll have access to these two outputs as two separate outputs in your digital audio workstation, also known as your DAW. So that way you can have that processed audio and unprocessed audio for post, editing, all that fun stuff. And you can also do this if you're in the field, which we're all going to be out there again. I promise we're going to be in the real world. You can get this little female to female XLR adapter, which I got from Amazon. And you can plug in another XLR mic here and have this mic output, set it up as an aggregate device, and have this be an interview mic. So you're the person, you're talking into this, you're the podcast host, run an XLR cable out to an external mic. Yeah. And it will run through the mic and out to your DAW. So if you wanted to do a quick interview and you only had this mic and this, you could do that. Well, you'd need another microphone. But if
Yes,
you didn't have an
yes.
interface, gosh, I need more coffee and it's noon. This is a problem. But but you get what I'm saying. So that's kind of a cool feature that nobody knows about. Um, what else? Oh, so I saw that Chris said he likes our in-ear monitors, which I'm wearing right now. I have the
Yeah.
SE215s, and you can make them wireless. So if
Yeah, and
you
I
have
saw that
these,
before and I love that trick.
yeah, yeah. So you just pop it off like this, and you get the TW2 adapter, which looks like this, and you just pop it on. And so now I can go from wired to true wireless for working out, for taking phone calls from the same set of earphones that I'm monitoring my podcast with or my performance. These are coming from our in-ear monitors. This is the cable that comes with that. So if you're a performing musician and you have in-ears, you can now have them be true wireless. So it's kind of a fun little feature.
Absolutely. And I think I got you a customer.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Or at least because I'm going to try the MV7 on my live next week. A friend loaning me one to test on the
Oh,
Rodecaster Pro.
there you go.
And let me see, Arnaldo, I currently use the MV7. I consider it ideal for podcasting. Awesome. Awesome.
Me too.
Awesome.
I use this thing all day, every day, and I love it.
Do you want to show a little bit? Because that feature about that touch panel on the top,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think if you can tell a little bit about it,
Yeah.
because I think it's cute and
It's
useful,
cute.
of course.
Yeah. So I don't have this one isn't plugged in right now, but you can still at least see what I'm working with here. So much like the MV51 and the MVI, this is a touch sensitive panel. So I'm able to adjust my gain, my headphone level. I can mute the mic directly right there by pushing that button. I can lock it out so that I can't control it from this panel, which is often a great thing to have as well. And it also has a new feature that we added in the last 6 months, which is live audio metering. So I can actually see on the top of the mic that gain or the metering happening in real time to see if I'm clipping. So that's cool. So yeah, you have ways to control it. If you don't want to control it in the desktop app, or if you're midstream and you're like, I need a little more gain, bloop, bloop, you can just bump it up. That's if you're in manual mode. If you're in auto mode, it takes over the driver's seat. It's like a Tesla. It's an autopilot, but you can control it from the mic or in the app.
Perfect. Another question about content creation, because we were talking for, I don't know, maybe medium or advanced user, but let me pretend that it's the first time I want to start my vlogging, my podcasting. Which microphones can you recommend to me?
First timers, I would go MV7 all the way. And you're going to say, okay, it's $250, $249 technically. So I'm not ready to spend that much. That's what I hear a lot. I'm just starting out. I don't know if I'm ready for that. Well, let's put it this way. If you were to buy a microphone and an interface, you'd easily spend that. You'd have the learning curve of having to know which interface you got and how to adjust the gain staging there and how to get it into your computer. And you need an XLR cable to get this mic in there. So if you're just starting out, having an MV7 where you just plug in the USB and it's ready to rock, to me is a no-brainer. If you're still not comfortable with that spending or that price point, then you could get the MV5, which I think, Marco, you had up there as well.
Highlight it right now.
Look at that.
I was waiting.
You're like, this is the MV5C, which is the conferencing variant of it, but it looks exactly like this. This is a lesser price point, $99. So it has that headphone monitoring output on the back. It has some adjustable modes. Sounds fantastic. Sits on the desktop. So, this is a great place to start as well, and works as that interface. Again, you don't need anything else. You just plug it into the computer or your phone, and you can start podcasting, broadcasting, creating content. So that's another option there. But I don't know. I'm just in this mindset now where I'm just like, you're worth it. Go for it. We're all grown ups by the mic that is going to grow with you and stay with you for a while. That's because I'm old and I like what I like now. That's why.
Yeah, because yes, as you mentioned, and I saw that interview that I think you were talking to someone, and
Oh gosh.
that person said, "Oh, I don't think, I'm starting." And come on, don't you worth that? and,
Yeah.
and the thing is, the thing is, the way you look, the way you sound, it's also your commitment with your content, and also the commitment with your audience. Because for me,
Yes.
it's really important. Because if after 1 year you look the same and you sound the same, your audience will say, okay, maybe he's not committed to provide us with good stuff.
Right. Right. And that's so important. You mentioned it at the very top of this that audio is king, really. People will
Absolutely.
hang with you. If your video is subpar, if you don't have the best camera or whatever, they'll hang with you. But if your audio is not great or if your audio has issues, people are going to bounce. And so it's so important and often overlooked still. And people think, oh, I'll just use whatever mic I have. No, like there's too many options out there now. You got to do the research and you got to find out what's going to work best for your space. But using something like an MV7 in an untreated room, that's what it's made for. So that's okay, I'll get off my soapbox now.
Yeah, and the other thing, and you mentioned that because I didn't know about that military thing about Shure
Oh
microphones, and
yeah. Yep.
you can explain a little bit.
Yeah, so we make everything to military spec, which came about during World War II when we were kind of asked to pivot and start making microphones to support the war effort. So we started making microphones that went into fighter pilots' headsets. So that was like a life or death situation. If that failed, it would be very bad. So coming out of the war, we continue to make products to military spec. So that's a very particular spec that is required, and you have to check a lot of boxes to qualify for that. And we still do that to this day. I mean, I cannot emphasize enough how much we put our microphones and headphones and earphones through to test them before they see the light of day. So it's a really cool thing to witness. And I've seen it, the torture tests. They're pretty intense.
Because this leads us to something which is important as well, because sometimes we spend, okay, I don't want to spend that much money on a microphone
Right.
because I'm starting, and then you buy a $50 microphone, and then 1 year later you need to buy a 100 microphone, and then you
Mm-hmm.
need to buy 150, and then
Mm-hmm.
you spend already $300 enough to buy MV7.
Yes. Yes. But that's taken me a lot of years to be okay with and realize. Like I'm a bargain shopper. I love a deal, but
I'm
when it comes to
Portuguese.
my gear, right? You know. But yeah, when I'm shopping for gear, I don't go for the least expensive now. I go for what's right. And not everybody can do that. It's a luxury for some. But if you're going to be making the investment in yourself and you're going to be making that leap to do this, see if you can stretch it a little bit and just get something that's going to be right so that you're not fighting the equipment. Because one of the biggest challenges when you start creating content is all of the variables that you have to wrangle at any given moment. Like Marco I don't know if you know what he's doing there. He's like the man behind the curtain. He's like Oz. Okay. So you've got your switcher and you've got your lighting and you've got your camera and you've got your audio. And then he's bringing me in as a guest through StreamYard and restreaming to Amazon and who else knows where. So make your life easier by getting the right things from the jump so that way you're not fighting any technology whilst also trying to do all those things behind the curtain because it's not fun. It will give you gray hair and wrinkles. Speaking from
So
experience.
I think
I
I'm
think.
painting mine, or I'm just
Mm.
removing the
You're just
white
that good.
hairs.
You've been that good from the beginning. I don't know. I had to learn all this stuff. I'm an audio person. Video to me, I don't know. I just got my Sony ZV-E10 right now. I'm feeling very fancy. I just got it yesterday. So that's my
And I'm a marketing person, or I pretend to be, or I think I am.
yeah.
So
Yes. Yep.
I
Guilty.
needed to learn even more.
Yes. Exactly. It's like, "Hey Laura, make some live streams." I'm like, "What's a live stream?" Okay. And then you just dive in, and then Amazon Live coming into the picture. I have a blast on Amazon Live, which, by the way, give a little plug to Shure if that's cool. We do streams Wednesdays and Fridays, myself and my colleague Mario. So please follow us and please watch our live
On
streams
short channel.
on Shure's channel. Yeah,
Okay, I need to follow you.
you need to
So,
follow us so you'll get
oh
the
my God, shame on
notifications.
me, shame on me.
Yeah, it's okay. We're kind of like the best kept secret, and yeah, no. We're doing great. We're
Okay,
gaining followers, but it's been a whole learning process. So, once you get a handle on one platform like Ecamm Live or StreamYard or OBS, then something else pops up like Amazon Live. So, get the gear that works. Make your life
absolutely,
easier.
absolutely. And talking about gear, and we know that these days so many people is just want to keep simple and mobile. Our cell phone, a
Yep.
tripod, and a microphone.
Yeah.
Which microphones do you recommend to that people that just want to go mobile?
Yeah. So that would be the MV88 Plus, which I took on my vacation and oh, it's over here. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. See? They're either within arm's reach or pretty darn close. Okay. This is the perfect mic to take when you're going out into the field and have to do an Amazon Live on your vacation.
Chris
You have
is
to do that.
asking, do you have any that vanity URL for your store? I think it's
Yes.
enough to go to the
Yeah.
Sure Amazon store and then hit that follow button.
I think this is our channel. I don't know. This is a link to oops, go back. A link to one of the videos, but you can at least there we go. Find us. So that'd be our last video. Okay, so we are talking about the MV88 Plus, which is this kit right here. And it's not wireless, so don't get all excited because that'd be really neato. So this is great for on the go or using at home for streaming. It has a USB-C and a lightning cable option. And the benefit to this particular mic is that you can change the polar pattern of the microphone, which is insanely helpful if you're using it for multiple applications. So like if you were going to be doing an interview, if you were going to be doing a stream, and then you're going to be doing some, vlogging, all these options here. So let me say, pulling up the app. So I'm going to say yes, access the app. Okay. Close this. All right, so within the app itself, you have these cool functions and features that you can adjust. These are the same preset options that you had on the MVI and the MV51, but this is where it gets really fun and interesting. I can change my polar pattern. So if I'm changing from monocardioid to mono bidirectional, that one's really handy if you're in an interview situation. You can put this in between yourself and the interview subject. It captures each of you on both sides of the mic because this is a stereo condenser mic. So it's got two capsules on the mic. And so it has stereo, mono bidirectional, cardioid, and raw mid-side. So that's a cool one for post-production if you want to split the two microphones into two channels, you can do that. So you have a lot of control with this one is the kind of moral of that story. You have compression, you have a limiter you can throw on there, you have an EQ that you can adjust. So this is really killer if you're out in the field or if you're wanting to use it on your desktop, it plugs into your computer as well and you can control all those cool features that I was just showing you. So this is my Swiss Army knife mic and it comes with the whole rig, folds up into this cute little pouch so you can throw it in your backpack. So this is for on the go or now at home because you can use it with your desktop. But control is the key to this one. Options.
And the way it looks, it's awesome as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty cool. It That's looks are very important. Oh, and it has a headphone out on the back so you can monitor in real time. I
Oh,
can't say
perfect.
that's a huge thing. You want a product that allows you to monitor because you got to make sure that what you're capturing is sounding its best, right? So,
Absolutely. And the tricky thing about audio, and the sinner again making my confession, because
yeah.
it's easy to see how your image looks because you can see it, but the
Right.
audio you can't see it.
You can't.
And sometimes you think, and that happened to me. I was trying everything set up and let me go live, and people complaining, no audio, no
Yeah.
sound.
We can't hear you. Yes. Yes. So many
So
variables again. Yeah.
yes, yes,
Yes. Thankfully, the streaming services have really come a long way in terms of what they recognize with audio and making that a priority. I think I can at least speak for Ecamm Live when they're doing incorporating virtual mics into their setup so that it is not an afterthought, it is a primary thought. So, yeah, it's good to see.
absolutely. And we 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 mentioned the monitoring and also using earphones, but I don't think that people will understand that it's not just that, because there's a problem, and sometimes we forget, because sometimes we don't like to use earphones or headphones or
Yes.
whatever, and
Yes.
we just use the speakers. And
Yes.
then let's imagine that shark music.
The Jaws music. Yes.
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 And we have that awesome, amazing feedback sound.
Oh, yeah. It's not good. It's not good. Yeah.
Can you stress hardly so people start buying Shure headphones on your
Can I stress it? Oh my gosh. No, I don't want to stress anybody out. But yeah, please get headphones, please get microphones but it is important to monitor your audio in real time and I think like you were saying that's just kind of like an afterthought. So always do a test too. That's just a public service announcement because we're all able to do that. I love with Amazon Live that you can go in and do a test stream and make sure everything's rocking and rolling because not all the platforms have that. So that's key. And you got to make sure you're testing that dynamic level. If you're going to be shouting
make
about a
sure.
product, make sure that you're adjusting accordingly. You know?
Yeah, but yes, one of the things, and this is one of the main reasons I recommend people using in here. And I think that the big thing about in-ear monitors is how low profile they look.
Yes.
Once I saw an executive talking. I don't have the same.
Oh,
I'm Portuguese, so I can't afford to have Shure in monitors.
oh my goodness. Come on now.
But but the thing is, we were talking with someone who was an middle-aged man, executive, and he were asking about those over here
Yep.
headphones, canned black ones,
Yep.
and we were saying to him that doesn't fit with your look. It's kind
No.
of you're creating a noise, so it's better to use these in ear monitors because they look so low profile. Oh my god. Aha. my
Just say it in
translator, it's a
Portuguese.
little
I mean, yeah,
it's
just
rusty. It's rusty. My translator machine.
yes, I love it. Just speak in Portuguese. I'll be fine. I'll just be like, whatever you're
Okay.
saying. Sounds
Então,
awesome.
I can't because Amazon will kick me off.
Oh man.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, well, don't speak in Portuguese, but later,
And there was the other day it was Brazilian comedian, because we understand, because I don't know if you know it, but it's a little bit different, the Portuguese from Brazil and the Portuguese from Portugal.
yes,
It's
yes,
it's the normal thing about European language spoken
yeah.
by in English
Spain,
in Europe,
Spain, Spanish,
and
Spanish in
and also
Mexico. Yeah,
the Spanish, the Portuguese, and the English. Here in Europe, it's even though the Spanish it's different because here it sounds good as well. Our I think the Portuguese is the less musical language in the Latin range, because the French, they have that accent, lovely. The Italian, they have the accent as well. The Spanish, they have that sexy
Hmm.
accent. The Portuguese, not at all, not accent at all.
No, I disagree with that. I think a Portuguese accent is great. I think that's I don't know.
I
I
don't
love
think it is,
I
but
love
that's
Portuguese.
okay.
Well,
We-
have you ever listened to the band called Leyline?
no,
You need to check them out. Four
ley line.
incredibly talented, yes, Leyline, incredibly talented women, and they speak French, Portuguese, Spanish, English, and they sing in all of these. Sometimes in one song, they'll sing in all four languages, and you're just kind of like, wow. And they did an incredible video for us, which I'm going to find because you need to see it. Actually, I can't post a link in there that's not Amazon because they'll get mad at me, but just
Yeah.
Google Shure and Leyline, and you'll find it. And it's showcasing our MV7X microphone. Just an added bonus, but just look them up and listen. You will not be disappointed. And they sing
Okay.
in Portuguese, and it's beautiful. So there.
Really? But
Yes.
it's Portuguese from Portugal or Portuguese from Brazil?
From Brazil.
Oh, got you. It's different.
Is that the prettier Portuguese? I don't know. What do you
Yes,
tell me?
yes, it is.
Oh,
It's
okay.
different. Yes, it's different.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
different.
Fair. But yes, they.
Shame on us.
They
Shame on
speak-
us. And there, that comedian, he was saying, look, you speak to a Portuguese and he will or she will understand us. The
Yes.
Portuguese guy speaks to a Brazilian and at the end you will look, huh?
Wow. Really? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We have that
Uh,
here. Dialects. Oof. It's a real
Yeah,
thing.
it's
here.
crazy. But you mentioned something that it's important as well, and I think about this audio thing. It's also important, which is education. And
Mm-hmm.
we were trying to educate people a little bit, but I think I don't think I'm sure that Shure takes this education role as an important thing.
Oh yes, big time. Yes, that is what we are the most passionate about. So anytime in my market development role, anytime I go out and I get to talk with people, it's never about sell, or the product, except when we do Amazon Live a little bit more because,
Yeah,
that's why you're here.
that's
You're on Amazon to learn about a
absolutely
product. But yeah, education is everything. For me, my personal crusade as a singer-songwriter is to empower other singers to choose a microphone and to put some thought behind it and to try them. Because if you think about it as every other instrument in the world, you wouldn't just go buy it off the shelf and be like, yeah, this one looks great. Like you would try it and play it and see how it feels. And the microphone is just as important. So we always lead with that educational element. Why does a microphone work the way that it does? Why does it matter that I choose a dynamic over a condenser? What's the signal path? How does my microphone get amplified? And then going into the earphone and headphone side of it, why is it important to choose an in-ear monitor? Not only because it sounds better, but just the hearing protection that you're going to be offered. So education is really important to all of us who work at Shure, but definitely Shure. It's one of our major pillars.
absolutely. And I think this is sometimes, and I don't know if you know it, some Amazon creators, they complain, oh, this, because when someone returns a product, we get our commissions off. It's
Right.
normal.
Right.
And he was complaining, and I mentioned, I think I didn't mention because I'm not his father, so I don't have to educate them. I'm not a policeman as well, so whatever. But one of the things we should have in mind, and this I will bring this to the Shure example soon, is that when we give this safetiness, this trust to people,
Yes.
it's a good reason for you to buy from us because you are safe. at some point. So
Right.
it's the same thing with Shure. If you give the right education, the right information for people to understand how I can choose a microphone, which thing it's important to have in mind when I want to buy a microphone. If I'm a singer, if I'm a musician, if I'm a content creator, because I think this content creation market, it's like
Oh yeah.
skyrocketing.
Yes.
So I think this is because sometimes people, and I don't know, but here in Portugal the mindset, it's like selling, selling, selling. No, I'm not educating, I'm selling, selling, selling.
Yes.
And at
Yes.
the end of the day, people are bored because you are selling all the time and you didn't
Yeah.
educate them, you didn't tell them anything like useful to
No.
provide them with the best
Choice.
information to
Options. Yeah.
yes.
Education. Yes.
Your thoughts on this? Do you think that, and I maybe sometimes, and I think this is the thing, and again, one of the main excuses that people tend to give to not creating educational content is, I don't have time, I need this time to
Mm.
sell.
Yeah. I've heard that one before. And I know as a human, I don't appreciate being sold to or feeling like that unless I know, okay, I'm coming to you for your expert advice on this particular product. Tell me everything that there is, and then that's okay. But yeah, you want to be able to have a conversation with someone, not feel condescended to, feel like you're learning about the product and making the best educated decision and not feeling that pressure. So that's I'm I'm with you. I think when you lead with education, it's going to lead to a sale, whether it's that day or down the line. And you just have to invest the time into learning who you're speaking to and speaking with and just, you know, figuring out what's going to be the most resonant information for them and useful information.
Absolutely. And even though, and you mentioned that, even though Amazon could be more sales oriented, it's also really educational, because one
Totally.
of the things, and that happened to me, and I think with Sure it's even more noticeable, is when people approach us to you and ask, look, I'm looking for a microphone, which one do you recommend? And
Yeah.
sometimes, and this is something that I really appreciate, is when I see in the other person they are putting me the right questions instead of going to the conversation. No, you need to buy this one because blah 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 blah. They make you questions. Do you do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's every time I get asked that question, there's a different answer. Which mic should I buy? You always have to start with how are you using it? Where are you using it? Those are the two first and foremost questions because if you're a live musician, that's going to go a different path than I'm in the studio or I'm a podcaster or a content creator. So, yeah, you always have to ask questions first.
Absolutely. That's what I'm doing.
Yes. Good job. Winning.
Okay,
Yes.
Laura, we are almost finishing. Oh my
Oh, I can't believe it. It's
god.
gone by like that. I love it.
Okay, so I already share the Shure channel from your Amazon Live. So
Yep.
hopefully you will get, I don't know, millions of views next show.
Millions.
What a good thing about Amazon Live, it's that you get really nice viewerships. I don't
Yeah,
know about you, but
we do. It's very
and
cool.
I'm pretty sure that people likes to watch Shure shows.
We hope so. I mean, we're pretty fun. We try to give some good info. So, any ideas for things, please send them our way because we're there again every Wednesday and Friday.
Perfect. So I don't think I need to, but I'm gonna ask you anyway.
Okay.
Three main reasons for people to have a Shure microphone or a Shure earphone, which
Reliability, quality, and sound, so quality from a physical build, but sound quality. That's my three.
Absolutely. And let me share this. Today I was having lunch with the main guilty about my live streaming journey, and we were talking about mics. And I think that sooner or later he will get a Shure, because I noticed that I had that feeling that he wants to have one as well. Yeah, you can tell. You can tell when
Yeah.
people. And he asked me about microphones, and I thought, I'm done with microphones, because I what can I have? Two SM7Bs?
Sure. Why not? It's more the
Well,
merrier, really.
I I'm thinking maybe later I will get one with the Portuguese flag colors, red,
Yes,
green, and yellow.
totally. I think you should make that dream come true. It's fun times.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know there's a way to do that.
There is. There might be. Yes.
Yes, soon.
Yes.
Laura, thank you so much for your time. If you can share, how can people find you and find Shure?
Yes. So Shure.com is how you find us. And how they find me. Oh gosh, I don't know. Laura Clapp Music is my professional songwriter side. But yeah, I'm all over the Ecamm Live community. If you're using that tool, I highly recommend it. But yeah, you can always find me that way. And tune in on Fridays, and you'll see me there and chat me up.
Which time?
I I never have a set time because every time I
Okay,
try, it's usually later
please
in the
don't.
afternoon. So
Okay, that it's because I'm 5 hours ahead.
I
I live in
know
the future. I
you're
live
gonna
in the
have to
future.
stay. Yeah, you're gonna have to stay up late that night, Marco. Yeah. No, normally it's around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, but
Okay, no
this
problem. No
Friday will
problem.
be a little earlier, I think.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Laura, for
Thank you.
joining me. It was a really pleasure. I can't say enough how I like this brand. I'm. It's something Sometimes people, why do you like that brand? Because okay, some things are easy to tell, but others, it's like you just like it.
You just like it.
But
I like it.
yes,
I totally agree.
yes, absolutely. And this is I let me when I was waiting to the microphone arrives, I was like
Hmm.
a little kid all the time looking at the window, waiting for the DHL
Is it there?
career.
I
Yes,
love it. Perfect. And now it's there and it sounds so good. And so
absolutely,
congratulations.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're
You
welcome.
both.
Thank you.
So, time to wrap up. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It was a pleasure to have you all here. Thank you so much, Arnaldo, Rome, Chris, Carinder, everybody else. Thank you so much. See you later. And don't forget, for sure, it's the most amazing microphone brand. Bye bye. See ya.